are, women are just running around, hot girl summer, riding the CC. I can do what I want, is my body, don't tell me anything. All of these things, they want to be free and liberal and live their best skeet and skirt life.
No, she didn't.
Welcome
to the J&O Show.
We talk about
things that we were never told them, Jay. And now you know.
Hey.
What's up, guys? We are back with another one.
This is back and forth action at its best. Okay?
This time, I just found something interesting that I wanted to put out there. I would love to know if you guys have seen it, if you've heard about it. I also want to know if any of you know if there's any truth or validity to what we're about to watch. I've heard this. It's crazy. It might be true, but then again, it might not. I guess we're going to find out.
If it is what I think it is, I've heard of this.
Yeah.
From multiple places, multiple sources.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. And if it's true, we need to come together and get our minds right. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Melanie King. That's what this video is from. Yes. There's going to be a link to the full video in the description, so y'all can go and check out the video for yourselves and see what she has to say about it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to play a whole bunch of it because I want y'all to go over her channel and support her. But this is super interesting, and I definitely wanted to play it. All right. The video is called "The Lies That Destroyed Western Women." Former Cosmo writer exposes magazine published feminist lies.
It's all about me. If you can convince a woman that everything is about her, then she has to buy a whole bunch of stuff to make herself so wonderful. If inside she knows who she is, she doesn't need all that stuff. Now there's the other side of it. I say we're all liberated. Are we? So on one hand, yes, we can go to college, we can get a degree, we can be doctors, lawyers, engineers, we can do all this stuff, we can make all this money. But how liberated are we if our girls have got that in their pocket before they can even think? How do we get to the point where so many young women today think to be free is to go to college, get a great degree, have a fantastic job, and be as sexually free as possible? How did those get joined together? Well, that was the question that people began to ask me after I had left Cosmo, and I began to investigate it. You have to understand a bit about how propaganda works. Propaganda isn't just a bunch of lies. People think, oh, propaganda, I can spot it in a minute because it's just a bunch of lies. No, propaganda is a very sophisticated, it's half-truth, selected truth, and truth out of context is used not to sell just products, it's also used to sell ideas. The feminist movement and the sexual revolution were two radically different movements. The feminist movement was fighting for equal opportunity for women in education and the workforce. The sexual revolution was fighting for all sorts of sexual freedoms. Cosmo, we pretended that this sexual revolution was a freedom for women. It actually was not. It was actually kind of a slavery. But we pretended it was freedom for women. And over time, as the sexual revolution and the women's movement got identified closer and closer together, a lot of women began to buy into that illusion.
So the woman talking on the screen is Susan Ellen Browder. She used to write for Cosmo in the very beginning. So one of the things where the biggest problem that we have today out here, where, you know, women are just running around, hot girl summer, riding the CC. I can do what I want, is my body, don't tell me anything. All of these things, they want to be free and liberal and live their best skeet and skirt life.
No, she didn't.
Skeet and skirt. Specifically, skirt. Yes, she said that. So, guys, have y'all heard any of this? I'm just like, wow.
We've been hoodwinked.
Bamboozled,
Led astray.
run amok, and flat out deceived.
I mean, wow. So
Things that make you say,
So there's a lot of things about what feminism was that no longer represent what it is. I can tell you for sure in the beginning, feminism was not talking about sexual rights and sexual freedoms. And that definitely wasn't a part of it, because unlike today, sex was very taboo for you to speak about it in public like that. Now, y'all see I got these grays. So I can tell y'all from experience, there used to be people having whole debates about the fact that Michael Jackson used to go and grab his hoo-ha when he was dancing, and they felt that it was wildly inappropriate for him to be doing that, and the way that he did it, they used to think Prince was wild. These guys, specifically those two especially, because they were such big influences on the culture, it was a huge scandal. A lot of the stuff they used to say in music and a lot of stuff they did. And, you know, music has always been risque. Look, us artists,
special people,
we are often contrarian to everything, even if it's a good idea. Sometimes we just be contrarian just because it's Tuesday. Like, it's just, we special. So we always are trying to push the envelope and trying to talk about freedom and stuff like that. But like the stuff that they did that would be so weak now, the videos that they put out that would be so like, oh, that's it. Back in the day, that was like, I don't know. So, you know, it definitely is a completely different time than it was. And wow.
that what she said in the beginning, the fact that like basically if you get it in them from young and they don't know who they are, all they have is basically this information, and they have to consume all this stuff to live up to this standard.
I'm gonna play another clip, another excerpt where it goes into a little bit more of some of the other stuff.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
The devil.
He's slick.
I'm serious. Just like she said, propaganda or what have you, it's not blatant. It'll be mixed with a little bit of truth.
True.
And certain ideas to make it sound a certain way. They're not just gonna like present, like my mom would always say, like whenever Satan, you know, is trying to influence you or fool somebody, he's not gonna come at you like, ooh, I'm the devil, you know, like how you see in a cartoon. No, he gonna give you a little bit of truth, just like what he did with Eve back in the Garden of Eden with fruit. He basically tricked her, you know, gave her a little bit of truth with a little bit of a lie. You know, he was just like, oh, you know, basically God knows that once you eat this, you're going to be wise like him, knowing good from evil, which that wasn't a lie.
Yeah, that was.
But the part about her going to die,
that was a lie.
that was a lie, because she did. That's what that reminded me of. Sorry.
For Cosmo for about 20 years. I came out of J School, University of Missouri School of Journalism. I was trained very well to be a good reporter, and then I immediately fell from grace and started writing lies for Cosmopolitan magazine. I was fascinated with Cosmo, and I was fascinated with glamour and sophistication. And I always said I didn't want to be a big fish in a small pond. I wanted to be a small fish in a big pond. And Cosmo was, to me, was that big pond, and I was the little fish. Helen Gurley Brown was the editor of Cosmo. She's the one that took Cosmo and turned it from a general interest magazine into a sex rag.
It's a magazine to help this young woman realize dreams, hopes, ambitions, to help her find a man, keep a man, get him back if he's going, get a new one if he left.
Helen Gurley Brown had created a list of rules on how to write for Cosmo, and some of those rules included how to make up stories. So here's one of them. Unless you are a recognized authority on a subject, profound statements must be attributed to somebody appropriate, even if the writer has to invent the authority. Here's another one. Try to locate some of the buildings, restaurants, nightclubs, parks, streets, as well as entire case histories in cities other than New York, even if you deliberately have to plant them elsewhere. Most writers live in New York. 92% of our readers do not. They had a book. They would go in and have a meeting of all the editors once a week, and they'd all bring in ideas, and then they'd put them in the book. The freelance writers would come in and choose the stories that they wanted to do. These did not come out of reality. These came out of the heads of the editors who said, oh, that would be an interesting story. And that's how you got assignments. Why all of this hijacking of the women's movement? Money. Money. Why was Cosmo so successful? Because it attracted advertisers. Why did it attract advertisers? Because it worked. When a young woman, an insecure young woman, reads these magazines and thinks that she has to have perfume, cosmetics, hair products, beautiful clothes, singles travel, abortions, contraception.
Damn.
When she thinks she has to have all of these things, she's going to spend a lot of money. What these magazines are doing, and what now the internet and everywhere, turning a woman into a commodity. She's got this picture of herself on herself. It's all about me. If you can convince a woman that everything is about her, then she has to buy a whole bunch of stuff to make herself so wonderful. If inside she knows who she is, she doesn't need all that stuff. Now there's the other side of it. I say we're all liberated. Are we? So on one hand, yes, we can go to college, we can get a degree, we can be doctors, lawyers, engineers, we can do all this stuff, we can make all this money. But how liberated are we if our girls have got that in their pocket before they can even think?
Bruh.
I recently saw something about that. They were talking about why advertisers would continue to push ideals and things that make people stay apart. Independent women, neither do you have to be dependent. And a lot of people don't understand that there's a very minute difference that really differentiates being a independent woman and being an interdependent woman. Mm-hmm. There's a big difference there. One is good for relationships. One will destroy your relationship.
Facts.
And this is what they're talking about. They want you to be an independent woman. They want you to be difficult. And they want you to break up your family or to be a baby mama and all of that other stuff. And you go, well, why do they want that? Why do they care so much? Money.
Again, the books say the love of money is the root of all evil.
Root.
The root.
It be the root.
The root.
When it comes to a lot of these issues that we're talking about, you got to understand, people make money off of everything you do. Divorces cost money. Marriages also cost money. Therapy.
Money. Child support.
Retail therapy.
Yes.
I want to get this new car. If you can't give me this car, then you ain't no good.
I got to get this new bag. I got to get these new shoes. I got to go get this. I got to get my hair done. I got to get my nails done. I got to get my makeup done. I got to get my wig split. I got to get...
If you can't finance my lifestyle, what I need you for, I could do it for myself.
Yep.
Y'all don't understand that they love you talking like this. The companies, and especially if you're
they in
separated.
the background like...
Because here's the thing. Part of the reason why the market is the way that it is because men don't have anywhere near as much purchasing power as women do.
Facts.
Right? So, interesting stat that I've been hearing a lot, but it's true. Black women are amongst the most educated now in the United States. Their rate of graduating college is higher than any other demographic, right? They don't pass everybody. They also are the most baby mamas. And part of the reason that dynamic is important is because men don't spend anywhere near as much. So while they're the most educated and they're getting great jobs, they're also the poorest and they also make the least amount of money. And they also have the highest consumer to debt ratio. They spend. And guess what happens when you get with a man who don't spend? We save it. Most of us. I'm not included in that. We will save it. We'll put it towards a bigger purchase, like a house. We tame the habit and the desire to go out and spend your money on a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Because we have things that we have to accomplish together. And they want that. Because you're going to spend more by yourself with nobody telling you, no, don't do that.
Yep. Because it's all about me. It's all about
I don't know what song she's singing.
Remember that song by Maya?
No, sorry. Anyway, the only point that I want to put out there is for people to start opening their eyes to the possibility that we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray. And that there may be more to the reason why they're pushing this than they believe in your freedom.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you right now, these companies don't give a rat's anus if you're free or not. I mean, only to how it benefits them. I mean, they love the fact that more women are coming to work and spending more money. That's only more money for everybody who has a company. So they want that. They want you to be independent. They want you to be able to buy your own. Instead of having one car for your family, they want you to have two.
Think about it.
You know, instead of having to buy one house per what would be per couple, you have to buy two houses because you got to buy your house and that single guy got to buy a house now. Every business benefits from the breakup of the family. Not every business. There's probably a couple out there that rather do family stuff. But though they tend to be smaller. That don't usually be big business. But anyway, I'm rambling now. But this was just super fascinating. And I just thought it was something to talk about. And guys, I mean, is there any validity to this? I mean, you guys might, you know, be able to do a little bit more research. You might have seen some things that debunk this. You know, I'd love to hear if you guys have some stuff. You know, y'all can throw me some links or tell me things to look up or whatever so that I can get a little bit more educated on it.
Yeah, comment down below and let us know. Because at the end of the day, this is the channel by married people.
For married people and people who want to be married. Yes.
All right, so anything that you guys can add to that to help us with that goal, go ahead and drop your comment. All right, but that's going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Till next time, deuces.
Peace.
Jules got you.
Jules got you.
Yo, how many of y'all actually remember the Juggernaut? The Juggernaut be it was a voiceover. That joke was mad. Oh, I'm dating myself, but oh my goodness, boy, let me tell you something. My brother-in-law put me on that. Her little brother, younger brother, because he ain't little. Our younger brother, and man, that thing has been messing up our lives for I don't know how many. We just be laughing, giggling about all of the stupid stuff they said on that daggone thing. I'm the Juggernaut. Yes.
I'm a juggernaut, bruh.
It's just hilarious. I'm sorry. All right, let's start the video.
Oh boy. Okay.